Welcome to Comedy Up Late. How are you doing, all right? Good, it's good to hear. My name is Carl, I'm from London. Thanks. I'm from an Irish working class household. Any Irish people in? No, we'd have heard from them by now. Any second generation Irish people in? Yes, over here. Have you also got mental health problems? That's what they do. Irish parents, right, here's a little secret. What they'd give you is mental health problems, but the ability to tell a story well, right? It's not the best thing, right? But it does work in certain worlds, because the thing is, it's all about the crack. That's what they say. You've probably heard of that, haven't you? The crack. And if you don't know what the crack is, it's basically a sort of cultural thing. It's all about the good times, yeah? And the crack is great, I'll tell you that. It's great when you're like maybe 18 and want to go for a beer with your dad. I tell you when the crack is limited, it's when you're 3 and you want to be raised. Yeah? That's when it has its issues, right? And it's not like, my dad's not actually the bad one. My mum's sort of the wild one of the family. My dad's a very quiet man. There's 2 types of Irish man. The ones you'll meet sort of who travel the world, they're the loud ones, do you know what I mean? There's another type who are like sort of, you'd almost not hear a peep out of them. My dad is essentially an iguana, right? He sort of sits in the corner of the room. He moves his eyes about once every financial quarter, just so we know he's with us, yeah? You know, we'll all think, he's definitely dead, you know what I mean? We'll all be standing around him, just sort of like waiting for him to do something and telling my mum, I think he's gone. And he'll chuck a little cheeky, just like that. There he is. But it's interesting, growing up in the Irish working classes, it's a very sort of strange world. My mum worked on a market stall. That's about as working class as you can get, really. It sold very bad clothing, right? But I'm not taking a mickey, that's what it was. And that was sort of the market that I grew up on. There was a lot of just rubbish stuff. I remember there was an item of clothing, right, that I think I was 11 when I saw it, and I still remember it to this day. That's how bad it was, yeah? It was a man's suit, right? It was like a 2-piece business suit, you know, 3-button sort of affair. And it was covered entirely in pictures of Bob Marley. Now, I've spent 26 years thinking about that, and to date, I've not worked out a suitable function you could wear it to. Like, if you wear it to a job interview, you have not got the job, have you? Even if, like, it was to be at the sort of head of the Bob Marley Institute, they'd be like, that's a bit much, mate, to be fair. It's more of a corporate environment. But nowadays, them markets, you don't really get that sort of clothing. It's all vintage clothes right now. I'm going to check sort of the demographic in the room to see this. Give me a cheer if you're over 25. Yeah. Right, give me a cheer if you're under 25. Oh, sort of this a little back corner of them in a little pen we've put them, right? The under 25s won't be aware of what I'm about to say, so I'm about to teach you a lovely little lesson. I'm not patronising, this is going to be fun, right? But everyone else will know this. But vintage clothes is a very modern development, isn't it? Because we used to call them second-hand clothes. And the reason we call them second-hand clothes is because somebody had previously worn them, hadn't they? And you also got a massive discount on the original price. They were much cheaper, because in the back of your mind, you thought somebody's probably died in this. But nowadays, they've managed to sort of NLP mind trick us into thinking they're antiques by using the word vintage. And let's face it, they're absolutely not antiques, are they? Let's see how you get on if you go on the Antiques Roadshow wearing your 1994 Diodora tracksuit, yeah? There we go, it's a little bit about vintage clothes. So it's going to be fun. Are you ready for a show?